Hi everyone and welcome back to Factorio. This is the second episode of the series. If you missed the first episode, I would recommend checking it out. We got all of this stuff done, so if you want to see how this factory originated, you could check out that episode if you want to. Anyway, today what I want to do is I want to get electricity going. Yeah, that's got to be the main focus for today's episode. So in the previous episode, we did set up some very basic electricity producing things. However, I want to set up something a little bit more permanent than this little solution here, and something that will produce a lot more electricity than what we're producing here. Because does this say how much it makes? It makes 900 kilowatts. Okay, and this consumes 60 kilowatts. And I'm assuming that some of the more intensive stuff with the, well, not just inserters, but the electric mining drills and stuff will use a lot more. 90 kilowatts, yeah. So that uses 90 kilowatts, and this only produces 900. So we can only have 10 of these electric mining drills if we just have the electric mining drills. So that's a little bit of an issue, but that should be all right. So I think the first step that I want to do here is I want to get electric mining drills on this coal, because coal kind of drives our whole thing at the moment. Everything seems to be based around coal, as unfortunately a lot of it is in real life as well. So I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to start setting up a lot more power poles. We'll have to craft up quite a few more of these, so I'll just get a bunch crafting here. And let's set that to, I think, 5? Oh, yeah, I have to drag it down there. This isn't satisfactory. It's a different game. I have to keep telling myself that. I always end up forgetting for some reason. Anyway, so let's bring these down and across here. And we should be able to bring these pretty easily over to our coal mining area. Now, are electric mining drills bigger? I'm actually not 100% certain if electric mining drills are bigger. Let's craft one up here. It should take a little second, but that's alright. And wait for it. And there it is. So how much of an area does this take up? Oh, yeah. Okay, so it is 3 by 3. And I used to think that, see that little blue square? I used to think that that's how big it actually mined, but I'm pretty sure that's the electricity thing, because this would be in electricity and this wouldn't, if that makes sense. So I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to get rid of these two and get rid of these inserters and get rid of these conveyor bits here. And let's craft up another couple of these, just get them crafting, but for now we can just chuck one down here. 12k, that should be fine. And we have one here, and that is 7.3k. Okay, that's not nearly as much, but that should be fine. So now we have both of those set up. I think I can just do that and get the conveyor belts going up along here, like so. There we go. So now that should be producing a little bit more coal than before. This is 0.5 per second, so that's actually twice as fast as these coal or burner miners here. So that's really, really good. So now that should be distributing to all of this. Hopefully this gets here before this runs out of fuel, otherwise that'll kind of suck, right? Yeah, so let's get another steam engine so that we can get more electricity out of this as well. And we could just keep expanding this really. I think we could just keep this going for a little bit, and if we need, we can get another pump and all that kind of stuff. Because thankfully getting power automation in this game is pretty easy. It's not that hard at all. I'm going to run down and grab this copper out of here because, yeah, it seems pretty full up in there. Yep, okay, so now we have plenty of this stuff, so that should be perfectly fine to expand things in the future, if need be. So let's chuck another one of these here, and, oh, of course, we'll need power to that guy. So now both of those are producing power, 90 kilowatts, or 900 kilowatts rather, not just 90, jeez. They said they, max, I guess that's max consumption is 90, and each of these are producing 90 each. Yeah, okay, that makes a bit more sense. A little bit confused for a second. Alright, so now that we have this coal going, I think what I want to do is improve our iron setup here, because coal is the most important, and then iron, I'd say. And we can actually set this up a lot nicer with not having to use burner inserters for everything, and not having to, you know, use burner everything really. So let's take all of this down and just kind of restart here, which is something I remember a lot with this game, is you have to take a lot of stuff down and redo a lot of things. But that's alright. So let's grab this coal here. And let's just take out all of these conveyors. May as well. So yeah, let's get rid of all of those. Alright, so now I think the way I'm going to do this, I've been thinking about this a little bit. Let's get a few more electric mining drills. And we have the long-armed inserters now, which I am going to be using as well as just the regular inserters. So we still need to use stone furnaces, unfortunately. That's a bit of a given. And I think we need 2 stone furnaces per electric mining drill, from memory. I think that's a thing. So let's rotate these, and let's have them going up along this axis here. So I guess we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then we can get electricity going up there pretty easily. And I think, will that power, I don't think that'll power that. There we go, so that'll power all of those. And I think the way we want to do this is if we have this conveyor going out and then into a conveyor like that. No. In like that. Yeah. So that'll go onto that side, and then these will produce onto this side. So we'll have 2 sides of the conveyors being taken up, just to increase the maximum capacity of these things, right? So yeah, we'll be able to have an increased flow rate with that, if that makes sense. So now we need, I guess, 8 furnaces. We've already got 4 on us, so we can just craft up a few more. And I think the way I want to do this is, let's think about this. Let's craft up a few more of these as well. Just get a bunch of those going. I know you can right click to make it, quicker, but oh well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the 8 furnaces running kind of along like this. And then I'm going to cut this one short and have the iron going across like this. And then the output is going to go up along like this. And the way we're going to do that is, of course, with long arm inserters. But we need to get fuel into this as well, and so I'm going to do that through inserters going along here. And I'll just use burner inserters just because it's a little bit easier. Because we're dealing with coal anyway, so we may as well use burner inserters. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it looks like we're actually running out of iron here, which is a little bit of an issue. Oh, I guess regular inserters are needed for long-armed inserters as well, so that's alright. So we want to bring iron in. So let's do that for 3, and then we can 1, 2, 3 craft up 3 long-armed inserters here, which will output to there. So, electricity is going to be a bit of an issue, won't it? So we're going to have to actually space these apart a little bit, won't we? So let's get rid of these. I know we just placed them down, but let's get rid of them. And we want to put an electric pole there, an electric pole there. And we want to have a space between these furnaces, like that. Yeah, that's how we're going to do this. And then we want to bring these conveyors along like this. And we need the other inserters, obviously, to go up like that. And then these ones to put them into the output lines. And then we can just keep putting more power poles across there as well. So we can put one here, put one there, etc. And so that'll create a pretty nice and modular system for, expanding this place. Obviously, we need coal up here as well, though. So let's put a few more inserters here. And we'll need a bunch more conveyor belts, although we don't have them. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's just put a bunch of coal into here because we have a bunch. So let's just chuck them all in the ones that we have stuff for. And then, yep, that'll start outputting onto that line pretty nicely there. Awesome. And I think we're going to do the same thing here. So halfway down, let me craft up a couple more conveyors. Whoops. I don't want to grab the raw iron. I just want the cooked iron, I guess. Cooked iron? Sure. So let's craft up a few more conveyors here. And this is about halfway. So I'm going to do this, like that. Oh no, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So I actually want this to go across like that. And there, yeah. And then these will output onto the far end. So that'll, again, just do the same thing we did up here and kind of double the way we can line up with these conveyors here, I guess. So let's craft up all the conveyors we can now. And let's bring those across there. And then we can slowly expand this to have everything. So I'll be back with you once I have gone ahead and set everything else up and gotten all the conveyors in and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so I'm back here, and as you can see, I've got all the conveyors in, all the inserters in, and everything's going well with this iron supply, except for going into this chest here. So I wanted to make all the items go into a chest, but as you can very clearly see, they are not very good at keeping up, are they? So unfortunately, that's not going to really work out. So I think I'm going to have to just continue more conveyors along here. Luckily, we have so much iron now, we can do that pretty easily. And I guess we'll just have to pick up the iron whenever we need it. And I guess what we could probably do is just have a bunch of inserters along here, which all go into chests. Which, yeah, we might have to end up doing that. Which is fine, we could definitely do that. And if I just put another thing there, let's just put another 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. And then we need a bunch of chests there. And hopefully that will be able to keep up. I'm really kind of hoping it will. I don't know if it will, but we'll see, I guess. So, whoops. Why'd that move me? We want to put another couple inserters there. And then obviously all the chests in there. So hopefully that will be able to keep up. If not, I am really not sure what's going to be going on with that. But that should definitely be able to keep up. So unfortunately that puts them all into different chests, which is a little bit annoying. But at least we'll have extra storage for stuff, which is nice. And we can always go to the first one to grab the most amount, I guess. Alright, cool. So now that we have that set up, I wonder what our electricity consumption is. So we have, okay. Inserters, long-armed inserters, production. Alright, so we're that much out of production, which is pretty good actually. About 600 kilowatts at the most out of 1.8 megawatts. That's definitely pretty good. That's less than half. So we should be good for a while without having to expand our electricity, which is good. And yeah, alright, cool. So now that we have that set up, I guess we should probably automate our copper setup, right? Because at the moment, I mean, our copper thing is a little bit sad. We don't really have that much copper going on. So let's get rid of these and let's set up something pretty similar to the iron here with the copper. So let's get maybe 1, 2, 3 electric mining drills. We have 4 up there. Let's just get 3 for the copper. And for that, we'll need a bunch of stone furnaces. Or stone ferni. Yeah, I like the sound of stone ferni a little bit better. Let's call them a bunch of stone ferni. I have realized as well, since the first episode, that we can just mine these stones and get more stones. So that works pretty well, thankfully. I can't actually get past any of these chests. Anyway, yeah, you can see we have tons and tons of iron in all of these. I don't think these last ones are getting any other than the initial ones we already had. But that's okay. That's alright. We don't need those last ones to have heaps. And look at that, we can make tons of assembling machines, tons of transport belts, which I might actually make quite a few of. Get that crafting up while we set up all these electric mining drills and whatnot. So we don't actually need coal all the way down here, do we? So let's get rid of a little bit of this. And we want to make room for the electric mining drills. Well, first, let's set up the furnaces, I think. So we're going to need one more furnace. So let's craft that one up here. And let's go 1, 2, a gap, 1, 2, a gap, and 1, 2, like that. And obviously in that gap we can set up the power poles pretty easily, like that. Alright, we have tons of burner inserters left over, so let's set those up down here, just like so, and then we can go ahead and set up the miners ready. So well, first let's get the conveyors going along here, and then we can pretty easily, I guess, I'll have it go across here, like that. And then we can go ahead and, not the burner miners. Oh, that's what I wanted. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but I'll take that. And let's do 1, 2, 3 there. Hook this up with one power pole and another power pole like that. Right? Oh, we don't have this hooked up to the main power grid, of course. So now let's go ahead and just hook this up to the main power grid, and this should start producing quite a bit of copper here. Yeah, nice. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's craft up a few inserters. We'll need 6 regular inserters, but first we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that will use up that inserter. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And then obviously we can just set these up to go across to another conveyor, which will be behind here. And this will just go all the way up. So we can get rid of this, and that's, I think, the last one we'll need for that, right? Yeah. In fact, we can get rid of that probably. Yeah? No, the way these are set up, no. I'm actually going to move those then. Because if we set these up like that, that'll just be a little bit better. We can save a conveyor here or there, and that'll be pretty good. Is this in the wrong spot? I think this is in the wrong spot. Yeah, we want that up there. Okay, cool. That's still connected to everything, so that's fine. And we can chuck that one there. And we'll have to have a conveyor continuing up here. And of course, get the rest of the inserters to insert into there. Alright, sweet. So that should be producing a bunch of copper here, which is nice. And let's just continue this up here, I guess. And I'll do the same thing we did for the other one, I guess. So let's get like maybe 3 inserters. I think that'll be fine. Will 3 inserters work? I think 3 inserters should work, right? And then put those into 3 different chests. We don't have power up here, but that's alright. We can probably get power pretty easily. Oh, and like that. There we go. So those should be inputting into those chests very nicely. So we can slowly build up copper over time like that. Awesome. So now I think it's about time we start doing another research thing, because I don't want to set up auto crafting until the next episode, really. So we could do electronics, steel processing. I might not go for steel processing yet. Definitely don't want to go for this one yet. Optics, yeah, lights might be a good idea, but I think the one we want to go with here is logistics. This only takes, 20, okay, wait, I was about to say, it only takes 1? What's the deal? No, 20 science packs, okay, that's fine, it takes 15 seconds per, so that's kind of slow, but that's alright. And we can actually set up this lab basically anywhere, we don't have to set it up all the way over there anymore. So I'm going to chuck it down right here, yeah. And let me just test out something with these. I want to see, do these take in 1 material or 2? Because I have a feeling they take in 2, but logically they'd only take in 1, right? Oh no, these can automate all sorts of things. Yeah, okay, so it can take in 2 materials, but it can't take in 3? It can take in 3. Huh. What's the point of the further tiers then, I wonder? Maybe it can't take in 4? Huh, okay, that's really, really interesting. Maybe it's just slower or something. I swear it could only take in like 1 or 2 different materials. Yeah. Because these require 3 materials, and all of these you can automatically craft in this thing. So, yeah, that's interesting, actually. So what we can do, actually... Oh, except we have to craft the iron gear wheels, yeah, so we'll have to set up quite the setup for that, but that's okay. I think we could probably work on that in the next episode. For today's episode, I might just manually craft up this stuff. So we need, how many did we need? 20, I think. So that does 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, it's certainly going to take a little while to craft, but that's alright. And we have tons of copper here now as well, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And this coal setup is starting to back up heaps, which is exactly what we want, really. And it looks like, yeah, we're still not producing nearly enough to take up all of the consumption, the max consumption or whatever. Satisfaction. What is this? Amount of power currently being produced out of power currently required. Okay, so it like changes how much power it produces compared to how much is required. That makes sense. So I think while I'm waiting for most of these to craft, I'll chuck those in there, and I will select logistics to start research on. And that'll start using up these power packs that I'm crafting here. And let's just double check, that does require 20? Yeah, that does require 20. Alright, so I think I'm going to wait for those to craft, and I'll be back with you in a little bit. Alright, and there we go. As you can see, the logistics has finished researching, so now we have that unlocked. And obviously we have logistics 2 to go on to next at some point, but that requires a science pack 2, and we need to research that first, which requires a lot of these, so we probably want to automate these first. Anyway, I think that's going to just about do it for today's episode. Yeah, I think we got a decent amount of stuff done. We set up electricity, you know, we got that all going. Redid completely our iron and copper setup, and really we redid our coal setup as well, even though it's not massive. You know, we set that up pretty well. So yeah, I think that's going to just about do it for today's episode. I really hope that you enjoyed it. In the next episode, we'll probably start to set up some more automation with these assembling machines. Hopefully starting to set up some automation for the science packs mainly. I think that's the main thing I'm going to want to automate here, as well as just some basic like iron gear wheels, copper cables, electronic circuits, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know what the deal with this new tips thing is, by the way. It's been growing for ages, and I really don't want to deal with this because I already know like how to do most of these. So I think I can just spam markers red. Yeah, there we go. It's gone. Alright, anyway, that's going to do it for today. Really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing if you enjoyed it that much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.